Welcome, everybody. This is the World Gospel Impact Church. We welcome you, and I've got a very great panel of guests here, and I'm very happy to host you, ladies. I'm sure we're going to have a great discussion. And our topic today, we're talking about disclosure. I once had a song that said, "I'm coming out. I want the whole world to know." And today we're talking about that exactly. Is it important to disclose information? And today we're taking it to the family level. Is it important to disclose your feelings, your secrets to the family or to people that you live with, or you should just keep your secrets to yourself? And if you do, why should you do that and how you should do it? So the ladies are here and we're going to discuss this topic. Let me start from my right and ask this question. Do you think it is important to disclose, or you should just have your privacy and people should not really worry about what's going on in your life?
Sanibone Makai, I'm Mandy Sishi, and thank you for having me. I would say it is important to disclose, but also you choose how much you disclose to your friends and family. So I feel like you need to be okay with whatever you're disclosing to yourself and accept it, and then you can extend it to the next people or the next persons, the one you live with or your friend.
Okay, so it starts with having truth with yourself, and then be able to extend it to the other people that you live with. Yes. You can introduce yourself and actually come into the table. Here is the topic we're disclosing. Is it really important?
Sanibonani, my name is Tania Zungu, and I do believe that it is important to disclose. However, I do not believe that you need to necessarily disclose everything. So there are some things that I believe that you absolutely need to disclose, and there are some that I think you should rather keep to yourself, or with, let's just say, your immediate spouse maybe, but not the whole family.
Ube neimfihlo zakho oyofanazo. Oh my God. Sister, the question still stands. Is it really important?
I just want to lead with the quote that a problem shared is a problem half solved. So by saying that, I do believe in the importance of disclosing. But at the same time, I think it should never be under duress. So you should never be forced to disclose something that you are not ready to disclose. As long as it happens on your own terms, then I think by all means, it's a problem solved.
Yes, and what are some of those things that you think are very pertinent that you should disclose when you are in a relationship, especially, we're talking about when you are having a partner? What is it that you think that you cannot really afford to hide from your partner, or to hide from your children or your family?
I feel like the obvious one is medical conditions. You cannot keep that to yourself.
Medical conditions.
You have to have people know, in case of an emergency, what they need to do, what they can't do. Which is why some people wear these silver medical bands, I'm not sure what they're called, so that even the first responders know when they get to you that, okay, this person is epileptic, so we can give this medication, but we can't give that medication. I think the same applies for your family. If you take ill, they need to know whether it's just maybe a common cold, or is it something more? Should they rush you to the hospital? Is it fine for them to treat you at home? So medical conditions, you definitely, I feel like you need to disclose.
And I think it's common that people hide illnesses and stuff. What is it that you think it makes it difficult for people to come out and actually declare their medical status?
I think the fear of stigma, if you're talking about stuff like HIV/AIDS. With cancer, I think it's more of, from what I know, it's more of people not wanting to be a burden to their families. So they feel like, if I just die alone, then no one needs to suffer with me, no one needs to know. I'll just sit here and just take whatever comes, and when the time comes, my family can just bury me. So I feel like some people do fear being a burden on other people.
What do you think, ladies? Do you think?
I also would like to add on that. Kunezifo esibuka as engazi ukuthi ziyihlazo emphakathini also nasemndenini. Kunezinye mhlambe such as ama allergies Those are easy ones, like you're allergic to shellfish, you're allergic to seafood, or same thing, or seafood, or like I'm allergic to bee sting. So I didn't felt a need of disclosing it to my family, but ngesikhathi when I needed help, nobody knew at the hospital that I was having an allergy to a bee sting, but only I understood. And at that time, I couldn't speak out because my tongue was very swollen, so I couldn't speak, or I couldn't even write. My hand was swollen. So I'd say it is very important to disclose even the secrets. I mean, the lawa ama illnesses esibone ngazo ukuthi wena ayihlazo taboo, like HIV, cancer, and all of that. Slampe mo ubone ukuthi awukho ready to disclose to the whole family member. You can just pick one person that you trust and you believe ukuthi no lo muntu lo indaba yami ngayithatha, and if they hear ukuthi usesibhedlela noma utholakali, they can quickly go to the elderly people at home and tell them ukuthi no lo muntu lo is dealing with this, and we need to give them a support of emotional support. Nje bebe khona, bebe available, because you can't deal with an illness alone. So it is very important to disclose.
Absolutely. So I'm sure you've advised many people to say, hey, no, oh, you have to disclose that one. Oh, no, don't disclose that one. I mean, what are some of those that you think are really important to be, in the disclosure?
I think it's not a famous one, but if we're completely honest, especially if you're trying to build something solid with someone, it's very important for us to talk about our pasts. I think we're a culmination of a lot of things that we've been through, things we've experienced, past traumas. All those things make you see lo Sthabile mbona namhlanje.
That's right.
So in order for you to be able to deal with Sthabile, I think it's very important for us to just quickly take a step back and say, wait, what happened back there that now makes you who you are today, in order for me to be able to live with you going forward?
Yeah.
But we also have a challenge there. You know, when you are engaging or starting entering into a new relationship, for example, I get a partner, and then my friends or my family, they would say you mustn't disclose as much, or you mustn't be open up to the person because obazi, and they might leave you for your past, or they might stay, or they might use that against you when you guys are fighting. So also that's the challenge we face in.
So does it mean then there is a calculated disclosure?
We
where
don't
you
even
need to
know,
say,
because ungamtshela umuntu ukuthi, you know what, my past relationship was ngangshawa, or maybe I was raped, or ekhaya nje angithandwa at all. So then how do you then expect the person to love you if kini ungathanda? So into ekanjalo ukuthi how are you going to
Tania, then how do you then deal with the situation where the partner then will say, you've got secrets, you kept this, from me, I didn't know about this. I'm sure that some partners would feel, betrayed
Left
to say you
behind.
kept this from me. So how do we balance this to say, I want you to know the truth about me, but also I don't want you to judge me?
First of all, Nje, I feel like with relationships, full disclosure is a slippery slope. You cannot,
Is it?
you cannot just come into a relationship and just boom, this is who I am, this is where I've been, this is what I've done. No. However, you do need to make sure that you do that. You need to pace yourself, because you need to first find out, am I in a safe space? Am I safe with this person? Is my past safe with this person? Are my secrets safe with this person?
But then how do you know that person, you are safe in that person?
With time. With time.
Yeah.
You
Do you
get
think
you get
it's-
to know the person.
Do you think it's important that when you disclose, you also take into consideration the level of maturity,
Yes.
or the level of
The
acceptance that
person's
that person...
character, everything. You can't just disclose nje noma kanjani, no.
Sure.
Because they will use it against you. And futhi legend.
Okay. No, I'm not going to take that personal, right? Because I just need to be where I am, and I'm enjoying this discussion. And Star, maybe when we take it a bit further, we've got different, dynamics in society where you will have people saying you cannot disclose this to your parents, but your friends can know about it. Can you have a disclosure where, other people in your life know about your status or about certain thing, and there are some people that, my husband shouldn't know about this, but your friends know about this? Is there anything like partial disclosure?
I think it takes me back to the point that Zungu was making, the point about having safe spaces.
Okay.
The minute I feel safe in a space, I'm able to open up to my vulnerabilities because I can trust that this ground has been cultivated enough to be able to hold this vulnerability that I'm bringing to it. Be it my parents, because they're your parents, then you're most definitely obliged to disclose to them.
Okay.
Are you safe with your parents? Are you safe with your friends? Are you safe? As long as the ground is cultivated and allows that you can trust this vulnerability, then by all means, I think that's a place that which you can disclose.
Awusabi yini ukuthi u-auntie ngelinye ilanga uma sekumnandi ekhaya uzothi hey mina wake wangitshela iy'ndaba zakhe lo njengoba eseklina kanje uyabona. So ukuthi sometimes it's even friends when those friendships are getting broken, and then you find that a friend now comes and say but mina ngani wathi kimi umyeni wakhe umenza nje. So what do you think of that? I mean, can you really disclose certain things and say I trust this one, I don't trust this one? Or once you disclose it, you should just know what the cat is out. One day, once you disclose it, you should just be prepared that, one day I will hear it coming from another
I
part.
think usiphelile khathini la khona manje lento yama counselors isifo famous and isiyamukelekile. So if you really uyabona ukuthi labantu onabo unele fear of judgment in the near future. So you rather have to pay low mali and disclose, because sometimes, not even sometimes, most of the time, siyadinga ukuthi cough out izinto ezisixakayo so that you can carry on with life. So you can always go for counseling because semabandleni and get that one person you really trust, or maybe ombone ngazi ukuthi noma ngabe indaba yakho uyayazi ayikho into azoma ngayo one day.
Ufuna ukubhodla sis. Okay, ngifuna sibuyele ke manje right into the church.
Okay.
We grew up with this culture of confession. Ukuyovuma nakumkhokheli. Ube nabuntu ukuthi mawenza izono uyavuma kumuntu othile ukuthi hey kukhona lapha engidlule khona angiseyona intombi into noma angisenjani njani. What do you think of that? Do you think church is still a safe place for disclosure? Do you think uma usubhodlile lapho seku right?
I would say in nowadays I don't think so.
Okay.
Ngoba ngisho ukuthi I would say personally, into enginayo ukuthi no, I need to disclose. And I was sitting down with myself, praying and asking God and meditating. And then I was like, if ngempela sengiyikhulumile uNkulunkulu ngayivuma and I repented, I can then boldly be saying I'm a Christian, and God is saying He's not akasikondemisa akasikondemi, but uyasamukela ngezandla zethu zakhe ezimhlophe, because somebody ungamtshela thinking umuntu uyakholwa ngendlela ocanga ukuthi ukholwa ngayo kanti really indaba yakhe ngama ngayo. For example, mhlawumbe sesiyoshada, we are going to umfundisi and telling them ukuthi mina no husband wami we know we discussile sesiyazi with fiance mhlawumbe we I ngakhiphi sisi before noma mhlawumbe I have HIV into kanjalo. So izinto mhlawumbe bezinye ongayi withholder menivumelele nina noba u2. I don't think mhlawumbe umfundisi or an elder should know, because nowadays akusathembakalile.
I think we should never neglect the human element of mawuhlambuluka kumuntu.
Okay.
I think one of the mistakes that we make sometimes, especially when we trust someone, we want to negate that this
is a human being.
Yes.
So yebo ngiyamthemba and yebo ngifuna ukuthi ngihlambuluke kuyena, but I must never forget at the very back of my mind that this is a human. And two, sometimes really the reason why I'll share Zungu's secret is because I'm worried about her and I really want her to get help. Yabona nje, if I make an example of a superstar on live on radio with more than 7 million people listening, bavele basho ukuthi she's in an abusive relationship. Yes, that disclosure happened in a way which shouldn't, yabona mhlambe kwakumele kube nendlela eyenzeka ngayo. But the truth is, sometimes the human element in me really wants you to come out of this very tough and difficult situation.
Should I
and
really-
therefore I'll disclose.
Yes, should I really care about the fact that what the other person will do with the information that I tell them, or should I just focus on the benefit of coming out to say, I want them to know that I'm gay. I want them to know that, you know, I met at somebody. I want them to know that I'm doing drugs. I just want that freedom, you know, of taking this out. Should I really care whether my pastor is going to stand with it in the pulpit, whether my mother is going to go tell my aunties? What should be the priority?
I think it depends on the person, and it depends on the secret. And it depends also on the situation. If I'm telling you because I'm really reaching out for help, like with
Okay.
the drug situation, then once I know that you told someone who then came to help me, then, I mean, I might say, okay, well, you shouldn't have told. But because now that person has come and helped me, and I was actually reaching out for help, then it's good. But if you actually were telling someone because you just needed someone to share it with, you know, just to lighten your load, then I think it does matter if the person tells a third person, because that's not why you told them. You told them in confidence, you know.
Wow.
I feel like even with professional counselors and therapists, by law, I believe they are not allowed to share with anyone, even law enforcement themselves, unless they believe that you are about to harm another person. I believe that's how it works.
Yeah.
So even in that incident, that person has to share that secret to help someone else. You understand? So like you said, the human element, because that therapist is human, and if you tell that therapist that you have, I don't know, like weird urges to go and hurt people, then that therapist has to go and try and protect those people that you want to hurt.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you don't want anybody to ever know, then you have to keep it to yourself.
Sure.
Otherwise, then you must look forward to the fact that it might come out.
Sure. Maybe as we draw towards the close, what are some of the advices that you can give to someone who's struggling with coming out? You know, to say, if you're going to do it, this is why and this is how you should do it.
Ngicabanga ukuthi mina umuntu how I can advise people at home ukuthi first, I mean, diagnose yourself, whatever issue or illness that you have, deal with it. Deal with it, and then owazi ukuthi this might be the outcome if ngitshela umuntu or abantu. So let's be ready to be stigmatized, be ready to be criticized, but at least you have peace within you. Which we keep it lentole. It's no longer bothering you, but unless when we had peace, and they are actually talking about something that when you
you've
yourself
dealt
told
with.
them. So akekho umuntu angathi intshontshe, maybe in a paper or somewhere kudokotela or anywhere anyhow. But if utshela umuntu wena, I feel like you have that peace. At least I told them, and then I'm at peace with that.
Ngiyayithanda le uyilungiselela because then,
Yes.
you know, many people, they disclose, and then when they face the backlash, you know, and then they say, ngiyayisola ukuthi ngayikhulumelani le nto.
Yeah, I feel like mangabe, if you haven't dealt with it, if you disclose something to someone, hoping that that person is gonna help you deal, you might get disappointed. So I feel like it's important to first deal with it yourself. Go through all the steps of grief, because with anything, even medical diagnosis, there is that grief that comes with it. You know, so go through all the stages of grief, denial, anger, all of that,
Rejection,
with yourself first,
Yeah.
before you disclose to the next person. Because you don't want to put yourself in that position where you feel like, oh, but I came to you for help.
Yeah.
You know, disclose when you are ready and you've dealt with it, so that you don't care whether the person shares it with a third person, because it doesn't matter what they say now.
They're not taking
I've already accepted that this is the case. I've dealt with it.
Yeah. I absolutely think that disclosure is really taking your power back. You're owning that truth. And if you are the one that comes out with it, then we can't no longer use it against you, because it's already out there in the open. But I think most importantly is to just have that strong why. Why do you want to disclose?
Yeah.
Because that why will always help you navigate back
Yes.
to why it was important for you to do it, even when people are challenging your decision to disclose.
Yeah.
Wow, unfortunately we've run out of time, but I've had really an interesting conversation with my guests here, and we've taken quite, beautiful lessons to say it is important to disclose. And there is something that is sort of like a partial disclose where you actually can select and say that, this I want to disclose, this I can't disclose, I still need to keep my privacy, and all the points that have been discussed today, they have been very fascinating. I hope that you did learn something at home, and I hope that you will use some of the advice that my panel gave. Thank you so very much for joining us. This is Senzo Myeni. Please don't forget, this is the World Gospel Impact Church. We are live, and please do share this broadcast. Do click that subscribe button and notifications bell so that every time we go live, you get a notice. Keep on supporting us and keep on growing with us. Thank you very much. Peace.